Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So today we are going to try out the Anna Griffin birthday cake, I guess. I guess it's just any cake pop-up dies. Now, I was surprised that the box was this thick, so when I got it, I did order it before craft day because I wanted to get it early. I was excited about seeing it and getting it, so I was really happy to see that. So it already arrived. I have quite a few other things coming in. If I have links for this, they will be in the description box, and it will be an affiliate link, which means I will make a small commission if you were to use those links to make any purchases. This is on HSN right now. I don't think they even changed the price, and to be honest, I don't even think they presented it because I went to look to see. I was like, well, did she just use regular paper? So the picture that they have associated with these, this is not the pop-up card kit. These are the dies. The pictures they have associated with it are basically the card kit pictures. And I'm like, no one's going to have the papers that they're showing there unless you got it from the card kit. Which, full disclosure, I did pick up the card kit after all. I wasn't going to buy it because I was like, shipping, the money, whatever. But yesterday they put out a 20% off coupon, and I don't really like delving into the coupons because a lot of people say they don't like that because they don't have the HSN card, so they don't want to, they think it's unfair. Some people don't get the coupons, some people do get the coupons. It depends on, is it a friendly coupon because of your friend? Is it because it's a celebration? Is it just a regular coupon? It's just, they send some different ones to me than they do to my husband. So, if you purchase anything on HSN, and obviously you have an account, unless you do through Facebook, I guess, because I think you can log in through Facebook. But if you have an account with them, because you go shopping on there, just like your Amazon, any other account that you shop through, they will send you coupons. So I do not have any control. I don't know anything about that other than that. And I'm just saying that because people will tell me, well, how do you get the coupons? Or how do I get the coupons? Where do I sign? I'm like, it's just like any other site where you would just normally make a purchase, right? Or maybe just to sign up for them. And then they'll send you coupons. So, especially if you have a card with them. And not even the MasterCard anymore. It has to be the regular HSN, store card, which is weird. This is weird. It's glued on one side. Okay. That's what I was like. It was so thick. Look at this. I guess this is good for, felting. So if I hold on to this, if you do any kind of felting, I know that's kind of a weird thing, but if you yarn, kind of projects, I suppose, or even just wool felting, you can use that for that. But anyhow, yeah, so just if you ever purchase something, just keep an eye out. A lot of times I miss the coupons because I wasn't even paying attention to my email, so but they did have a 20% off, so I used that. I think it was yesterday, off one item, and that was the one thing I thought, well, what's weird though, the now this is just real talk, the Crafter's Companion butterfly letter set, I was gonna get it, and I even went and put it in my cart. And then I guess it sold out by the time I went to check out my cart, because what ended up happening is, again, HSN had a $20 off of 99 coupon on Tuesday, which was craft day, which was weird because people could start shopping the day before, and I was basically, if you wanted the Anna Griffin box, it was a good thing if you bought it the day before because it sold out, it was gone. So that's fine. But anything else, if you were going to use that coupon, obviously didn't work. I did encourage some people here, if you think that's kind of unfair, just email them or just send them a chat there and just say, hey, I did pick up these things the day before, and then you guys put out this coupon, but that's only if you have their credit card, okay? And maybe they'll give you a credit or something. It's worth trying, right? We've done that before, ladies, and it seems to work sometimes. So it's worth asking, I made this many purchases. Is there any way I can get some credit or something? I don't know. Just putting it out there. And so then, yeah, so I put the Crafter's Companion letters with the butterflies, and it said it sold out, and then it was back, and now they're still there. So I think what happens is at the end of the night, sometimes people cancel their orders, different things. They're like, maybe not, or so then they're released, So I was like, well, that's a bummer. So I was going to pick it up, but then I thought, I'm just going to wait. With a 20% off coupon yesterday, I figured I'll just wait and see if it goes to Crafter's Companion's site. Well, that's always a fun one for me. If it gets to Craft Stash, I will pick it up there. That's how we were looking at that one. All right, cake pop-up dies instruction sheet. So I try to get right to it for the product review, but obviously I purchased this thing so I can chit-chat and then go ahead and do it. It's not like a review I'm doing more professionally for a company. So if you can see on here, look how cute this is. Oh yeah, where are you gonna find paper that's like this? All right, so that's another paper stack that I don't even think they had a paper stack that goes with this. I know she did have some birthday papers. I don't know, guys. I'm just gonna use regular paper. Obviously that's what we have. And then it has some embossing features. Ooh, that is sharp. I went like this and I ran my finger in there. It's catchy. That's odd. Okay. Usually it's kind of sanded nicer or smooth, It was a little bit rough. We are going to have to, even the pictures here, I'm pretty sure this is this, I don't know what to tell you. I feel like this is the same information they gave in the card that's already set up, because in that one, in the pop-up kit, it already has strips that, you know, everything's already colored and it's just ready to go. So that's kind of what they're showing you here. Like, where are you going to find, again, they should have some, I think she had some paper packs that you could pick up. But I'm just going to use regular paper and we'll see what it looks like. It does not look very difficult, to be honest. I know it looks like a lot of pieces, but it's the plate, which is really cute. It reminds me of the little saucer. And then we have just a few other pieces. And it's just the bottom one, you wrap the paper around. The next one, you wrap the paper around, and then the little candle on top. So I am going to grab some papers, and I guess we'll just start cutting. Okay guys, this is wild. So I was like, maybe I'll make it like pink. So I have this pink. And then I found this Dear Jane stack. Like, I just go through my papers that I have, you know, in my bookcases here. And the Dear Jane stack, I don't even remember seeing this before. If I had seen this before, like, obviously I've seen it because I have it here. But, like, if I had paid attention when I bought it, I would have bought more of it because this is really pretty. But, again, Die Cuts with a View. I don't know if this is still available, but if, you know, I don't know. But as I'm digging through it, because I thought, oh, it'd be pretty to have some kind of like flowers or something. And then I was like, well, it has to be kind of simple if I do the embossing. But then I saw this and I'm like, this is perfect. And look how almost perfect it matches with this paper. So we're going to use this paper. We're going to use some of this one. And I probably won't do the embossing. Like, it's an extra step I'm going to do because I don't think I need it. I'm probably going to do the little plate, obviously with some kind of gold. So I'll have some gold matte paper, but we don't need that quite yet. Actually, yeah, no, we're gonna go ahead and use that. Let me grab the gold paper. I don't know why I hesitated on that one. I will be right. I'm not gonna do gold. I'm gonna do pearlescent white. So we just need basically one of each of these things cut out. So of each of these dies, just look at it and think of what you want to do. So of course these strips I'm going to use the stripe paper. The pink I'm going to cut out of all these three things, and then the little plate. And again, I'm not going to really try and do the embossing, but however you want to do it. Now, I think this is too long. Like, you're going to need the extended plates for something like this if it's in your Gemini or if it's in your Empress. But again, I hardly ever pull out my extended plates of either one of the machines. So I'm just going to cut this out on the regular plate. And people ask me this all the time. I think people had a lot of questions about the house, which is too late now because it's already sold out, the open house. But oh, actually, I think it might be... Well, anyway, I was just thinking out loud. I just run it through twice. So I'll cut the first part, but I'll show you that in just a minute. So I'm not going to, you know, cut every single thing, I think, on camera, because what's the point of that? Like, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to cut this guy out, obviously face down, on this pretty pearlescent paper. If I do the embossing, I will show you guys that in a minute. These pink pieces... Every single one of these, this guy, and this guy, I will cut out on this pink paper. There is embossing, and I am going to emboss at least the candle because I want that candle to look a little bit different than just the pink paper. So I'm going to cut all those three out on the pink paper. And these two guys are going to cut out the stripe paper. I'm going to cut them out as straight as I can sideways, right? Because I want the stripes to go up and down like this. So we need both of these pieces. And I guess it depends on how you want it, if you want what to be up or down. But I would say this looks like it should be up. What do you guys think? Let me look at the instructions. Where are the instructions? I don't think it matters because obviously my stripe is going one way. But if you have a certain pattern to your paper and you want it to be certainly a certain way, right? It's hard to tell in here because, again, they're using the colors that came from... Yeah, they're definitely just using the papers that are in the pop-up kit. So I suppose it depends on how you want. Here they're showing it kind of with that up, and that's what I figured. The little heaviness, like this part, should be facing up. So I'll run these both through. Let me cut this down just a little bit so I can show you what I mean by running this through twice, okay? But let me cut the paper down and I'll be right back. So I'll cut this down in just a minute, but this one, I'm going to put it, again, as straight as I can. So if anything, I want to just kind of run it down the side just so I know that it's super straight so my little lines aren't crooked. And then I'm going to tape it. I'm not going to emboss this one because, like I said, I already have the stripe pattern. I don't need the embossing, but if you want to do the embossing, you just run it through again with whatever rubber embossing mat comes with your system. And so when I do not want to bring out my other plates, or if you only have the junior, you know, like I said, everyone has asked about getting longer plates, because all they have to do is make the plate a little bit longer. It's a good width, right, for the junior. And they're like, oh, we'll look into it, but they never have done it. So I place most of the die as much as I can. So this is what anything you can do with any die that's like this that you do not have a big enough plate for. Oh, come on. This is what I'm telling you. Her magnetic mat is no joke. It sticks really well. So there we go. So I'll run it through. Ay, always having things in front of the opening here. Why is that going so slowly? I feel like that took a while. Okay, then we're gonna open it up. So you see it cut through most of it, but not all of it. And I just turn it over because I don't like to overlap too much. But again, I'm gonna let it cut the rest of it. So whatever is still out here, and not overlapping too much, like about there, I'll put this back on top. And it's only gonna cut where you have a full sandwich, okay? So make sure the sandwich is completely full there, and running it through. So now we're gonna cut the other side. And again, you can do this with any machine, you know, that will accommodate this. And this part right here, you don't have to worry about it. It's just gonna, it doesn't have a plate around it, so it's not gonna do anything to it. And that was pretty close. I messed it up just a little bit. I moved it, but that's okay. All right, so that's it. So like I said, I moved it just a hair, but just tape it better and you won't have that issue. Now, I can still see the little embossing. It's very hard to see the lines. That's not good, because we really need those lines to be on there. I can kind of see them if I really, really, really look for them, like right there. Again, I'm not gonna run it through with embossing, but I'll figure it out because I can just kind of eyeball where the lines should be, and I'll be able to figure it out on here. Okay, and then I'm gonna run through these other guys. This little guy, I'll just do it now. I am gonna run it through. This is some pearlescent cardstock, and I'll give it a little bit of tape just in case, just to show you real quickly about embossing on this stuff. So there's that. I'll run this one through real quick. And I always leave the metal shim, but you know, if you don't think you need it, don't include it. And so anytime you want to emboss on this thing, it's the same thing. It'd be the same thing in the Gemini. On the Gemini though, you cannot run through the, don't use two of the metallic or like the metal shim, and the rubber mat should never be used at the same time. That's what they always say. Like, it used to be that they were both purple or whatever, something like that. And they would say not to use both purple shims at the same time, but they have changed that. So now it's, I'm just going to place this on here, but again, you can face it up or however you want. But either way, the cut, line, paper, then rubber embossing mat. Neither one of these do. You can put the metal shim if you want, but I'm just going to use the rubber mat and go through. And the one thing I do notice about the Empress is that the rubber mat always gets a little bit wonky, like it'll squeeze real hard. It shouldn't make a difference. It should be no problem. It should be no problem. You'll know what I'm saying. When you use your machine, you'll see that the rubber mat starts moving and you're like, what the heck? It's just because it's getting squished like it's way out here and it wasn't there before, right? But this shouldn't have moved, so it should be okay. Look how cute the little marks, very cute. Okay, so I'm gonna cut those 3 pink pieces, and then this last piece, this one here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna say thank goodness there are videos out there already, because these instructions are, I don't know. And I only saw this put together the one time that kind of I was watching as she was using the pop-up set that's already made. So we will see what happens. But we're first going to work with this. I was going to say that the lines aren't bad. It's just that my paper already has lines. That's what kind of makes it harder to see. But hopefully you can kind of see like right there and right there and right there. You can see the little lines, right? So that's where you're going to fold. Again, if you are embossing them, then they will be much more defined. But since I chose not to emboss, they're just showing. And then my paper, you know, doesn't help either. But there we go. All right. So not bad. Okay. I found these two. They were not bad. So let me put this to the side. let's put this to the side. We're gonna start off with this guy. Doesn't say to fold or anything yet, but we'll see. And then we're gonna use this here. It does say to cut everything from double-sided paper, just in case you see the back, which is the case, you do see the back. So just know that. We're going to fold these two sides here and use adhesive. I'm gonna use this, but you should probably, again, always, pretty much always use a liquid glue because it will hold better over time, right? Just get a little bit closer, and maybe I'm gonna bone fold that just to really get that adhered. Okay, so there's another little tab here. There's this top part. This is basically the top of your cake. So if you wanted to decorate that, you know, or use different paper, you'll see at the end. So it'll maybe give you a better idea of what we're doing here. So now it says take your base panel and your bottom tier, which is the bigger one. Obviously there's a smaller one and a bigger one. It does have a little embossing. I did not take the time to second emboss it, but it probably would have been good because it has these cute little dots, but I didn't do that. So this is where it gets a little bit wonky. It's like, what? But basically you're going to take this, because the picture, I don't know why they showed this bottom panel yet, because you don't need it until here, but it looks like something's going on here and nothing's going on there, other than that you're supposed to take this and put it through here. Okay, that's all it's telling you, but it's like, why does it look like the base panel is involved here? It's not. So we have these pieces. I'm just going to kind of put them down for now, but basically we're going to use these in a little bit. And then you want to take this little tab, remember I told you there's like a little tab, you can kind of see that there's a line there, and put it through this base piece. So it's not difficult, just I don't know why people, and you know what, I shouldn't say anything, because when I made that card the other day, I told you guys to go on my blog to finish it up, the kind of like aperture card. It's hard for me to explain in words what I can show in a video better, right? So it is, you know, as they say, and I can't remember who used to say this, it was a writer, he says to write not to be understood, but to never, so that you wouldn't possibly be misunderstood. Does that make sense? So like it should be super clear, not just that people are like, oh okay, but they might get a different intention from what you're writing or understand it differently, and that's not what you want. You want it to be written in a way that people cannot misunderstand what you're saying. So, all right, I'm gonna put a little tape. Again, do a wet glue. I'm doing tape because we're just here, but you want to use a wet glue and stick that tab down, right? Okay, and so they're showing you that, and I do not know why they show you this. That is like, just, this has, I don't even know. Okay, so we put the tape, and now we're already on number 5, and it looks like all that should have been done in number 3 there, so it's kind of confusing. So of course we're going to use the outer pieces and stick those down. It just says slide the bottom tabs on the bottom tier panel through the outer slots on the base panel. So that's all you're doing. Basically you could have done this all at once, but these pieces right here go through that base panel hole, that's slat there, and just kind of know where the score mark is. So maybe I should just, before I go there, really score that and really score this so you can know how deep you're putting that in there. And then we're going to put that on the other side. And she recommends to glue them bottom tabs and adhere to the panel as shown, fold over and press to adhere. It looks like she's saying to adhere them in this direction, you know what I'm saying, instead of out like this, like in. So again, this thing folds flat so you can do that, but again, wet glue would be your best friend here for longevity of your cute card that you're creating here. And where's the score mark there? Again, this thing will fold flat in either direction. Pull that up. This is also going to be trapped on your card base, so I'm not getting too worried about it because this is going to be stuck to your card base. And look at that. You already pretty much have your first tier looking cute. Okay. Not cute enough yet, but we're going to get there. All right, top tier. Basically the same thing, I would assume. Let's see. Woot. Top tier. Take a top tier and slide the center slot through the top of the candle panel. Slide the bottom tabs and the top tier through the outer slots in the bottom tier. Fold over and adhere, of course. I'm trying to see if they view of the back. Apply adhesive to the bottom tabs and adhere to the back bottom panel as shown. All right, that part gets a little bit tricky too. And I know people say, you should go watch Anna's video. No, never. Why would I do that? Like, that's not how it works around here. You already know I have to work it out myself as if you had gotten it home and hadn't seen the video either. And a lot of times we don't follow instructions. And then her video will be different from what the instructions say. I'm 100% sure of that. The instructions are always suggestions, but whenever I do a video like this, I try to follow the instructions, because then I hear people tell me, well, you did that because you didn't do this, so I try to just follow what the instructions say. And if the instructions aren't clear, that's, I think, on the company, not so much on the person. All right, so when I stick this through here, you have to glue this back in there. So what I'm gonna do before I do this is I'm gonna go ahead and put glue here, and it might make it almost impossible for me to put that through, but we will see what happens. Otherwise, I guess you could just do little dabs of wet glue later underneath, right? So we got that. I'm gonna open this up pretty well so this glue hopefully doesn't just stick. Yeah, that's not bad. And now there's already glue on my little tab here, so I'm just gonna put that, just squeezing it. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little glue there. And it slid through easy enough. Again, do whatever it is you think is right. Okay. And now we have our little pieces here. So I'm gonna look at this for a second because it does say to apply the adhesive 1, 2 on that third panel, like right in the middle, and then stick that down and then wrap it around. Okay, I guess I don't have to take a break. I had to sneeze, so it cut my words off. So you put the glue on there, you adhere it to one thing, and then you wrap it around and obviously close it up. I'm still gonna use a dry glue. I would love to use a wet one, but it's what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna take this down here, and again, it says to put it kind of like in the center of one of these guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put the glue on this piece because when it comes around, I'm assuming it's gonna stick to itself. So let me bend that. Not bad, guys. And like I always say, with everything, after you make the first one, then you're like, oh, okay, you know, you got it. But the first one's always gonna be a little more difficult. Now, I'm just paying attention to my little embossed design because it is there. It's just hardly there, but it's there. So I'm gonna take this piece and put that glue against that little supporting piece there. And basically it's just gonna sit here. So it's not like it's glued to this paper or anything. And I noticed that too in her pop-up when she talked about, you know, the set that's already made. What I would like to do, see, why don't you glue it there too, but she didn't say to do that, so I'm just gonna stick it here. But I would love to stick it again to one of these other side pieces, and I'm just sticking my hand in there and just pushing that. I'm sure once we close it and open it and do all that, you're gonna reinforce that stickiness. I hear a pitter patter of little feet. Okay, so the next one, again, same thing. Just, we're gonna find the third panel here and just put some glue right down the center. And again, let me check my pattern. Okay. This is so cute, you guys. Did you guys try the shutter card? I heard from a few of you guys that you did, so that's really great. I actually made another one for a local king, and I'll let that video release probably tomorrow. Oopsie. I remember I was going to put glue here. And I'm using dotted tape on top of that, so like the weakest tape in the world there. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna stick that down, however. So cute. So it's not really even adhered here, it's just kind of chilling, and I just want to show you my little cake. It's a little crooked, a little worse for the wear. Let's see. Okay, well, I guess it depends on how you line this stuff up. Aww, it's a lot crooked. Okay. What do you need, Mama? Hi. You need a snack? Okay. I'm sure it'll iron out in just a minute. And then we're going to put this on our card base. So I'm assuming I need a 5x7 card base. I'm going to go grab something to work on so we can put our little cake on it. And see if I can work out why I have it. There. Okay, so we'll have to see how it ends up putting itself in the card. Now it's straight. Okay, let me go grab a card base and we'll finish up. So I just went, same paper I've had for a long time. It's from Anna Griffin. It's super old. I don't know if they still have it. It's like floral garden or floral paper, real generic. I cut it at 7x10 because if you want a 5x7 card, you need to cut 7, unless your paper can be 14 inches in one direction. So it has to be 7x10, right? And, oh, it has its own bone folder, and I'm going to bone fold this at 5 inches. I don't know which part of this paper I want in the front and which part I want outside. So this kind of paper is kind of crazy looking. All right, let's put this pretty floral on the inside. And then on the outside, when I go to decorate it, you know, like never, I will mat it up with something else. And I know I said like never. It's because whenever I make an example like this, sometimes I will use it, but sometimes it's just for me to have it. Like the teacup one is sitting around here somewhere, and so is the flower one. They're like in that corner over there. All right, this is the moment of truth. As far as, it didn't say to train your paper, and to be honest, I wish I would have folded this to begin with. Let me give it a little fold right now. Because usually what I do is I give it the fold, that way at least we kind of have an idea of what's going on. Oop. Okay. So this is going to go in here, and when it folds, everything's supposed to fold up. Now, I am doing this, and I understand I might be making a huge mistake, but I want to fold this up and kind of see what it's going to do if it were in here. That is so scary, you guys. Okay, I see what happens. This collapses on itself, and so does that. So as it goes up, that piece and this piece. Interesting. I'm trying to see exactly what this should do. I don't like that. I feel like I should still put glue on this piece right here. Let me look at the instructions again. Because for me, just to put the glue there, I don't know. Continue to wrap bottom cake round, bottom here. Apply adhesive to second side here as shown. Apply adhesive to tab in here. Yeah, that's what it is. See, I messed up. Remember I told you, I said it's kind of weird this doesn't have glue. So I'm just gonna do it here, but we should have done it earlier. I did think that was odd that the other side didn't have glue. Which is odd that they tell you how to, I don't even know what to say. Okay, again, instructions. It did say to put the adhesive here, but how come I didn't put it on this thing? Okay. Okay, now let's see if we can get this going. So this is supposed to pull up. Yep, yep, yep. Just like that. That's doing it. Okay, perfect. And this should also pull up into there and there. There we go. Much better. Okay, so I had a little hiccup. I apologize, but that's what it is. And again, this is another reason why I never, ever, ever really bone fold things until I know what it's going to do. Because that shifted a little bit. So it was worth doing a trial run like this than just putting it in the card. Now we got it. Okay. So if you read the instructions, it tells you to, you know, we started here with the glue in the center, and that's what I just didn't do at the beginning, but they didn't tell you to do at the beginning, right? This is odd. They should have shown you to have glue here and here, or however, but anyway, you wrap it around. So make sure you glue both this little leg and this little leg, okay? And always give it a try around. There's no way I would have glued this on here and then folded it and been okay. So that's just my 2 cents as far as the trial run. See? Now we're much better. Okay. So I like to use wet glues for things like this because when you go to close this, this is actually going to move and you can feel it under your hand moving. But at the same time, you don't really want it to move too much. So you really want to try to keep it where it is, because if you do let it move too much, it'll make it so that it moves out, and then when you go to open your card, you have a big gap between this, because if it did squeeze out, and your card, right? So when you go to open it, it's not going to be good. So those are just a couple tips. You want to be careful. I'm going to use a dry glue just to get it stuck down. But again, wet glues will hold better, and it'll have been easier to put on than what I'm doing, as you can see. Okay, wet glue, and then sit her in here, and do not give it a good squish until this is kind of closed, because that way it doesn't move. So even if it was a wet glue, put her there and do this. I would not ever, ever just put it flat like this and then shut it, because like I said, it'll move. You're gonna have issues. Train the thing, then glue it in. And then let's open it up and see how we did. Pretty good. And see, this is what I'm saying. So you have that little gap right there. I can't unfix that. But if you're using a white glue, you can still kind of, if you're using a white glue, it would have moved away and it'd be fine. That's just how it is, guys. I don't know what to tell you. So there it is. It is very cute. The cake is very cute. I'm gonna have to, try it again another time, because see, I don't like that gap there. Again, let's do this, but if you do this and then you close it, here's the thing with pop-ups, you pretty much have to give them a good trial run. Okay, not too bad. It is a very cute thing. I did have some issues. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna have the other one coming in soon, the kit itself. So we'll see how that goes. But again, this is kind of why I like to have a wet glue, because I can manipulate it and still get it where I want it. Like, this is still not where I would want it. But that's okay. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that either helped you out, showed you some of the pitfalls, because again, there were some. And I'm surprised I haven't seen a video of them creating it from scratch from this kit. I've seen it from the kit that's already basically created, right? All you have to do is put it together. But even if you do get that kit, again, at the very end here, when you use your wet glue, just kind of train it and kind of make sure it pushes back in itself so that when you open it, it opens kind of flat, okay? All right, guys, I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.